What's going on, y'all? I'm DJ Heat, and welcome to my first album. What is my first album, you say? Hey, we're gonna take you on a journey through musical nostalgia. Think back to that first CD that you caught from Sam Goody. Oh, you could have got a tape from the bootleg man. And for my younger generation, you remember the first thing you got off of iTunes or when you got that Spotify for the first time? Yeah, that's how we gonna do it. It's my first album. What's going on, y'all? It's DJ Heat back again with another episode of my first album, and I'm excited about this guy I have next to me, man. He does it all.
I'm nobody important.
He has mottos. He has chains with his name on it. He got dope businesses. He got a dope nonprofit. He's just an overall dope guy, the hardest working DJ I've seen. DJ QuickSilva.
Wow, that was an amazing introduction.
You like that?
I should have recorded that for a radio drop or something.
Oh, you know I got you. We could go back later and I can say all that amazing things, like how I got you back in the day with the Diddy drop.
You ain't never lied. That Diddy drop that people here, they don't even know DJ Heat is the reason how I got there. She kind of coached them when I won the East Coast DJ of the Year at the Mix Show Power Summit.
Yeah.
And I remember I wasn't even there. Then I came back, I flew back home, and she's like, hey, Quick, I got something for you.
Right.
I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, Diddy had came by, was doing drops. I was like, yo, add on, he just won the East Coast DJ. And Diddy was like, for real? Like, oh, okay, we gotta put that on there. So that's real dope, man. It's real dope. So my first album, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So we're gonna reminisce about the first album that you ever caught, which was
Jay-Z Reasonable Doubt album.
Reasonable Doubt album, a classic. A lot of people feel like that's Jay-Z's best album. You agree?
I would say yes for a lot of reasons. For me, like I just got my license. I just bought my first car.
Yeah, you bought it when it came out because it dropped back in 1996, summer 96.
96, so
all right.
That's the year I got my license. I just turned 16, got my first car, and I remember like going to the store and buying a cassette tape.
Yeah,
This is before the CD, and you know nowadays CDs and cassettes don't even exist. It's just digital.
You hand it to probably your kids. They're probably like, what is this?
I got a cassette tape on my chain right now, and my son said, what is it? I said, it's a cassette tape. He said, like what? I said, a cassette with music. He said,
wow, all they know is like Spotify.
All they know is phone.
Right.
Everything's on the phone.
That's
so
wild.
I bought the Jay-Z Reason Without cassette tape back in 96. And I remember putting it in my car. I had a Cream Maxima, still in high school.
What?
And I remember pulling up, playing the Reason Without. At that moment in my life, you couldn't have told me I wasn't like it.
Yeah.
Like I got my own car, playing Reason Without, listening to Hove. That was life.
And the vibe with it, man.
Oh, the vibe was, Can I Live? Can't Knock the Hustle.
Yeah.
Feeling it.
What's your favorite track out of all of the joints on Reasonable Doubt?
I honestly don't have one. The entire album is just beyond amazing. Can I Live is definitely one of my favorite songs. While I'm watching everybody watching me closely, my shit is butter. Like Hove is just different, man.
Yeah.
The God.
And since that was his debut album, I admit, I was late to the party.
Most people were. That first album didn't do any numbers at all.
No, it didn't go platinum until like 2002.
So once Hard Knock Life album came out, and he dropped the single Hard Knock Life and H to the Izzo and all those, that's when he really started becoming this commercial artist.
I was that
and
person.
And the rest of the world, so what happened was when Hard Knock Life album came out, everybody was infatuated with Jay-Z. That's when he was like the king of New York, the king of rap. So then at that point, everybody went back and they bought Volume 1. They bought Streets is Watching soundtrack. And they bought, of course, Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah. I think I was late to the party because during 96, that time of the album drop, I was a huge Fugees fan. So that Fugees had that huge album going on that year. You know, Tupac, he was still having his reign, even though, he passed a few months later. He had All Eyes on Me popping. And then that's when the Bad Boy era was really popping. Like, Puff was putting out, 112 and Faith and all that and Total. So I think I was just in a different zone where, like, okay, I'm a bop and dance. And this guy, Jay, who a lot of us just saw as like, oh, he's Biggie's man, or oh, he's the dude from Hawaiian Sophie.
Right.
From back in the day. So how did you get hip to Jay-Z and want to buy that album?
Because for me, it was the exact opposite. So a lot of people looked at Jay-Z as, the guy that Jazzo put on. And then, of course, that was Biggie's guy from the, from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But I remember I was actually I was in my old hood in East Beadmore, Shady Side, shout out to Zone 18. And all the hustlers in my neighborhood, like where I grew up at, I didn't grow up like this QuickSilva that people know. Like I really grew up. I know we're not talking about my backstory, but like I really grew up like different. I really grew up in the streets. I really lived that life, like in real life. A lot of people don't know my past. They know QuickSilva, the DJ. So just growing up how I grew up in my neighborhood, everybody wanted to be like the Dope Boys. We didn't have a vision that one day that I could make it off of Shady Side, or one day that I can make it out the hood. Like the Dope Boys were the celebrities. These were the guys who had the money, the cars, the fame, the respect, they had everything. So one of my OGs, and he's actually passed away now, I want to talk about him, but he was playing that album. And I'm listening to the album, and I remember looking like, I want to be like this guy so bad, the guy. So I'm listening to J album, he's playing J album, and I'm like, what is they like? Yo, you don't know about Jay-Z? And the fact that he said you don't know about Jay-Z, for me, mean I had to research this guy. So I went out and bought that cassette tape. And when I tell you, I played that cassette tape from start to finish at least 3 months straight. Like that's all I played, nothing else, no radio, it was Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt. And I was just listening to him, and if you really listen to the album, a lot of people thought he was bragging on the album, but he wasn't. He was really trying to paint this picture of, these are the things I did, and I'm telling you why you shouldn't do it. I mean, the album was heavy. I really encourage anybody, if you never really listened to Reasonable Doubt album, like re-listen to that immediately, and then you'll hear something now in 2019 that you like, I had no idea he said this in 96. I mean, the guy was deep. He's a lyrical genius.
Man, you mentioned how he was telling his story in the hustling, and I remember Jay even saying that being in that studio, it was like, you know, going to therapy for him. It was. And a psychiatrist and getting things off. And like, you know, again, I was one of the people late to the party. So I had already, my first introduction really listening to a Jay-Z album, I was that person that, you know, okay, Hard Knock Life, that was
most
my first.
People, it's not just you, like, I mean, that was the world.
That was
like,
the world.
The world found out about Jay-Z when he dropped Hard Knock Life. That's when everybody, then after that was history. And he put out Black Album and Blueprint. I mean, he started putting out classic albums at that point.
And I felt, not bad for being late to the party, but I did go back and to hear the things he talked about, I was like, dad, like, I wish I probably would have appreciated it more during that era. But the fact that it still bumps now, that lets you know that it is a classic. It is. Now, you said it wasn't Jay-Z's best album.
I can't say it wasn't Jay-Z's best album because he got so many lines on.
What would you rank above Reasonable Doubt? Blueprint?
Nah. For me, it wasn't like when you listen to stuff Jay-Z was talking about. Alibi ain't matching up. About to start stitching, huh? Like, I mean, like, you know, you hit with that RICO, they repo that vehicle. I forgive you, hustling just ain't you. You know, if it wasn't for the fast cars, if it wasn't for the chicks and bars, you wouldn't be in the underworld with the killers and it. Like, he was just talking like to a young guy who wants to be a hustler, trying to tell him like, hustling's not you. Like, everybody want the life. You want the fast life until you realize what that life entails. I always say everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. And that's really what Jay was saying. Like, I'm telling y'all, this is the path that this leads to destruction. You know, and the street life, it never leaves. Even when you get out, that street life follows you for the rest of your life.
That's true.
So he was almost trying to like school youngins on, this is what the street life can bring. And if you're not careful, if you don't have this exit plan, you're gonna end up like 100% of the people in jail. That's really what I got out of that.
Okay, that's good. And I see how guys relate to it, like especially guys that, you know, came from the street, they relate to Jay-Z so much. Like, I've never seen a rapper. When I talk to guys about Jay-Z, it's just something they eyes light up about why they feel the music. Why do you think that is?
For me, it's not even about the music only. I really look at Jay-Z as inspiration. So you take a guy that's from Marcy Projects, right? Who came from nothing, like not the rap nothing, real nothing, who becomes one of the biggest, not just rappers in the world, but one of the biggest businessmen, one of the biggest CEOs, becomes a billionaire. You know, marries Beyonce. I mean, like this guy has set the blueprint of what going from nothing to something is. And I always looked at it in my life, you know, I'm nowhere near a Jay-Z status, but I really am that guy who came from nothing into society standards. I made it. I'm a I'm a successful DJ. I'm a successful business owner. I own a nightclub. From real estate to, I got so much going on.
Yeah.
So from the outside looking in my world, I could be perceived as not Jay-Z, but a guy who really lived the life, who followed the blueprint of Jay-Z on how to become a business owner. And not just a successful business owner. A lot of people start businesses, and you can go down to the courthouse and get a certificate.
LLC,
Now,
right.
I own a business, and people brag about business owner, and I say, but it takes a lot to become a successful business owner and to stay in business. Everybody can start a business today, but will your business be in business and profitable 5 years from now? So, you know, my track record speaks for myself.
It does.
I'm 20 plus years in the game, very successful. But that's because I come from nothing and I know what it's like to have nothing. And that's why I hustle so much for my family and for the fact that I never want to go back to how I started.
That's a good one. So the question is, with everything that you got going on, how are you able to balance, you know, your work life and, you know, make sure your family's good? And some people might say, like, when do you sleep? You're like,
I think that's the question that everybody asks me, every artist, and especially when I was doing morning show. People were like, I watch this guy be in the club every night till 3, 4 in the morning, and I turn the radio on at 6 a.m. and he's on the radio.
Right.
How is that even humanly possible? For me, it's not easy. I think I make it look easy. You know, everything right now, if you see it on social media, it's believable. So people see my life and they see what I want to be out there, and they think like, this is easy. I'll tell you one thing, it's not easy. It's not easy balancing family. It's not easy balancing businesses. It's not easy balancing employees. It's not easy balancing taxes. It's not easy balancing. I want to list some things that I balance every day, 24/7. And the bad part about business is that even when life gets in the way, business doesn't stop. So I've had moments in my life where I'm going through some real tough times or something serious, but that's the day that payroll is due for my staff. Or I'm going through something serious, and that's the day I got a big interview with Diddy on my show. I can't, nobody cares that Quick is going through something. At that moment, either show up or don't show up. And that's the hard part about being who I am, is that a lot of times you got to make those decisions that sometimes you don't want to make, but because you are who you are, those decisions become almost, you have to. So to answer your question, how do I balance? It's not easy. I try to take naps when I can. As you see, I work out. I'm a fitness, hashtag get fit with Quick. But I really try to eat right. I try to work out as much as I can because I know I don't get the sleep I need. I remember talking to my doctor, and he's like, you get 3-4 hours of sleep tops a day, tops. Like I have some days where I'm 2 hours in and I'm up 19, 20 hours working straight through. Like when I say, you know how people wake up and they hashtag rise and grind. Like I have real days where I wake up at 7, I got a meeting or a conference call at 8, I got to be at this school at 9:30, then I got to go to the club by noon. I'm there from noon to 2.
And then sometimes we see you traveling.
Then I got to stop and be on the radio 3 to 7 on multiple radio stations. Then I go off the air at 7. I got a happy hour, then I got a DJ from midnight to 3. And I'm back at it again.
Are you addicted to the work, you think?
Yes. I am a workaholic, but the workaholic for me is what keeps me sane. Like I say, a lot of people don't know my backstory. I lost my mom at the age of 10. I lost my dad at the age of 18. I started DJing at the age of 10. So I think that when I lost my mom and I started DJing that year, that was kind of my coping mechanism. And then by the grace of God, my coping mechanism became a lifestyle, which turned into a successful business. So I've been, when most people find out, like I'm still young, I'm in my 30s. I've been in the business for so long, people think I'm 40, 50 years old. Then they find out Quick is 30 what? Like I've been listening to this guy on the radio for 20 years. So you tell me when he started, he was 14? Yes. Most people don't, like, it don't even sound believable when you say I was 14 in a nightclub. And by 17, I had my first radio show. Like somebody be like, he lying. But this is really facts of my life.
It's been documented.
Like this is documented. Like you can go back to '96 and see me DJing at the club when I was a kid.
I remember because I went to Morgan State University, so I started Morgan in '97.
And I was already the king of East Baltimore by then. So
the tapes everywhere. And all
so
that.
like back to your question, this work mentality that I have. I bury myself in work, but it's work for me. It's work for me. It's made me it's awarded me a lifestyle that I thought only existed in the movies. A lot of times I go home and I look at my life. I look at my family. I look at my house. I'm like, this is crazy. Like I really live like
It's a blessing to see.
It's a blessing. Like I come from a row house in East Baltimore, and now I live in a house next to where all the athletes and business owners live. Like I really live like one of those people. Then it hit me one day, like, you are one of those people now. You're one of those successful people in the 3% of America now. So it's a blessing to see where I've come from, and because I've buried myself and worked so much, it's a gift and a curse, because at this point in my life, sometimes you want to turn it off, but that's all I know. I've been working like this since the age of 10.
Right. Does it feel weird if you want a vacation and you're like,
it does.
I'm not doing anything? Does your wife have to be like, put the phone down?
So it does. Yes and yes. It does, because the bad part about me is not just me. You know, a lot of people who are successful in radio or DJing or promoters, it's them, or maybe it's them and a kid or them. I own businesses.
And then you have staff.
Well, I have staff. So that's the bad part about being the owner. I always say, being the GM or the president or the manager, you still get a check every 2 weeks and you get to go home. Like, as the owner, I deal with all the problems.
You're the top of the food chain.
So even if I'm out of the country on vacation, if the liquor board runs in the club and they need something for, I don't have a choice. I'm the owner.
Right.
So
they need to find this license or this paperwork.
So like, it's like, you know, it's not easy. But it's a blessing, because I'm in a position now where I'm able to employ so many other people and make other people successful. That's my mission statement in life right now, is not just to continue my success and build my brand and my success. I want to create other business owners. I want to create other millionaires in my circle.
Okay.
Like that's my goal right now.
Amen.
Thank you,
Thank you for your time, man. This was
man.
great.
Anything for DJ Heat.
Hey, listen, I'm just trying to get to a level where I can get a chain with my name on it.
I get you.
Just like you.
I'm gonna get you a DJ Heat.
Hey, it's coming. Y'all heard him right. DJ Heat, my first album. We out, man.